Welcome to today's celebration of Loyola University New Orleans Class of 2021. The presidential party will now enter, headed by Father Justin Daffron, carrying the university mace. According to academic custom, the president marches at the end of the procession, attired in the university ceremonial robe and wearing her chain of office. Graduates and honored guests, the chair of the Loyola New Orleans Board of Trustees, Mr. Dennis Cuneo.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome each of you to tonight's ceremony, and I want to extend the congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees to the graduates. The graduating class of 2021 has experienced perhaps the most terrifying and disruptive event in my lifetime, and I've been on this earth for 7 decades. In March of last year, when New Orleans was the epicenter of the pandemic, you were asked to pick up your bags, go home. You had to switch from in-person to online learning in about 3 days. When you returned in the fall, you had to wear a mask, you had to wash your hands many times a day, you had to maintain your social distance. Some of you caught the disease and had to deal with the symptoms. Some of you lost loved ones. And all of you had to deal with the fear and the sorrow and the stress and the uncertainty and the anxiety caused by the pandemic. But through determination and grit, you toughed it out. And that's what we're here today to celebrate, your graduation. So graduations are joyous events, and under the circumstances, this one is very special, one that we'll never forget. So I'd like if the graduates would give yourself a hand for everything that you've done and for being here tonight. And now I want to give it up. I want you to give it up for your families and your friends who also supported you through this. When you graduate tonight, you're going to be part of the 50,000 living alumni of Loyola. And I urge you to stay connected to your classmates. I graduated from Loyola's law school 45 years ago. And when I came to law school here, I was newly married. My wife, Bonnie, and I were out of town, and we formed a friendship with 4 other couples. And over those 45 years, first of all, we've all remained married to the same spouse, which is kind of unique in this day and age. Secondly, we remain close friends. And once a year, we get together, sometimes down here, sometimes another place. We go to each other's weddings, kids' weddings, and we remain in constant touch. In fact, I just had a text from one of my friends this morning. So at Loyola, you can be very thankful for this Jesuit education that you received, but you should also treasure the friendships that you've made here. And I hope that yours will last as long as mine have. Now, I have the honor of formally starting this ceremony, but before I do, I want to ask the permission of the President if I can do something that I've always wanted to do, and that is to take a selfie. And if you can't see the iPhone, you're not going to be in the picture. Now, I did do this in the earlier ceremony, and Tanya frowned at me, but you know, when you're 71 and you got a month left in your term as chairman, you don't really care. So, with that, as chair of the Board of Trustees, it is my honor to formally start this program with these words. Here now, in the presence of the candidates for degree, members of the faculty, staff, and administration, alumni, board members, and guests and friends of Loyola University, the commencement of our 109th year is now called to order. Enjoy.
Please stand for our invocation given by Father Justin Daffron, Vice President for Mission and Identity. Please remain standing for the national anthem being performed by Isabella Vanderhoof, an accomplished vocalist and Master of Music degree candidate from the College of Music and Media.
Aware that we are in the presence of our good and loving God who gathers us safely this day, let us call to mind the many blessings that we have received through the Loyola community. Loving God, as we gather this day to celebrate the graduates of the class of 2021 of Loyola University, New Orleans, we call upon your Holy Spirit to bless our commencement exercises. Ground us in deeper gratitude for the ways that you have been present in the lives of our Loyola graduates who have accepted the call to be men and women for and with others. Strengthen our faith so we may believe the joy we feel today is your divine presence flowing in our midst, and we may come to see you more clearly in the midst of the experiences of daily life. Sustain us through hope so we might use our courage and creativity to transform our world more according to your vision of a kingdom that pursues justice for all and elevates the least. Bless us with the knowledge that within this arena today, your love is incarnate in the Loyola community. We offer this prayer in your most holy name, our one true God who lives and reigns both now and forever and ever. Amen.
So proudly we hailed stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Now, we present a special salute to you, the class of 2021, and some congratulatory words from a few of your fans. That moment when you officially become a Loyola University New Orleans graduate, it's a big deal. And over here, we like to celebrate really big deals. You've had quite a year, class of 2021. One day, you're chilling on campus, enjoying university life. The next day, boom, a pandemic hits. Everybody's lives are turned upside down. The whole world went crazy. But y'all didn't let distance and masks and isolation drag you down. Nah, that's not for you. You adjusted quickly, maintained the spirit and faith, and lifted each other up to get to this moment, this very big deal. Sure, the celebration may look a little different, more intimate, quiet, reflective, but the joy of it all, it's still the same. Because you deserve it. You studied hard and you pushed yourself. You made lifelong friends. You trusted yourself and took bold chances on your education. You even traveled the world, all while practicing strict pandemic guidelines. You won so many awards, it's hard to keep count. And you grew into the leaders you are today. You learned to think critically, to speak truth, and to act radically with love. You became the Jesuit-educated human you sought out to be when you first got to Loyola. That is reason enough to celebrate. So seniors, we salute you for being brave and brilliant and getting to this moment, this very big deal, your graduation from Loyola. Get used to hearing "I'm so proud of you," because you're going to be hearing it a lot.
Hello, it's John Baptiste, and I want to say congratulations, Loyola. It's amazing. You made it. You made it all the way through, and you're in Louisiana, my home, and I know y'all having a great time. I know there's a lot of emotions in the air, but you know, we're in a strange time, but don't let that discourage you. We have a whole lot to look forward to, and you are the future. We're looking to you, and I know that y'all are going to come up with some amazing things. I know there's dreams that are in your heart and thoughts in your mind to expand and grow, and you have your tribe with you, and you're going to get more people and gather those people into your tribe and just continue to do your thing. I remember the days when I was in the summer jazz program at the university and felt this sort of, this feeling of life being endless and so many things ahead of me that I could imagine for myself. And I know that you must have a similar feeling in this moment. I was a little younger than you guys at that time, but I just remember my life and how it's so much that's happening. So much has happened in a short time, and so much will continue to happen as long as we're blessed to be here. So let's take in this moment right now, and I just want to hear y'all through my iPad right here scream to the top of your lungs and relish this moment on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! All right now, that's it. That's it. That's the feeling. That's the feeling. Stay in that. Stay on that vibration. Till next time, thank you so much. And I'm going to catch you on the flip.
Hello, New Orleans! Hello, Wolfpack! I think this is how you do it. I'm Eva Longoria. I'm doing the Wolfpack thing. I'm so excited to join you and your families today as you celebrate this milestone in your lives. I mean, quite honestly, in the lives of our nation. After a year of being separated from each other, moments like this remind us that we're all stronger together when we're gathered and we're celebrating and we're supporting one another, when we're opening the door to opportunity and to the future for each other. That is the true meaning of the American dream, and it's a place where we can all prosper. It's the inheritance that we leave to each other generation after generation, to always be a person for others, to notice and care for others, to put our own needs aside and instead give of ourselves. That's the way I was raised. I'm so happy that's what you guys were taught. That ability to embrace the beauty of the human spirit in what we all need today more than ever, especially at a moment where it feels like our world is so divided. You are going to help that. You're going to help create unity because of your experience here at Loyola. And years from now, you may not remember my words, you're not going to remember what I said, but I want you to stop and look around you and remember the way you feel right now. And I hope that you remember that you're important. And class of 2021, you were very special because in the midst of one of the greatest crises humanity has ever faced, you persevered, you succeeded, you did it. And from this day forward, you will be different. And it's not because of a piece of paper that you're getting today, but because of the lessons that you learned from each other. So class of 2021, congratulations to all of you and to your family and your friends who got you through this journey year after year. Congratulations. Have faith. Be kind to others. Congrats.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 17th president of Loyola University, New Orleans, Tanya Tetlow.
You did it through global pandemics, hurricanes, and for some of you, even surviving organic chemistry. You did it. And you didn't do it alone. I want to ask the graduates to look around at their loved ones here today and to wave at all those watching on live stream. I can feel the waves of love washing down from these stands. The parents and all the people who acted as parents, the siblings, the meemaws and pop-pops and aunties, the families you were born to, and also the families you chose, the coaches and neighbors and adopted uncles. Some of you have spouses here who believed in you, and children who put up with you most of the time. and were patient while you went through this experience. These are the people who invested their hopes and dreams and sometimes their life savings in you. Some of them literally moved mountains out of your way. Many of them made it their life's work to give you opportunities that they never had themselves. They refused to let you quit. They bucked up your courage at the lowest moments. Their belief in you made you believe in yourself. Graduates, can you stand up, turn around, and tell them how you feel about them? Come on. Now, I'm about to wax poetic about Loyola and its beautiful campus, but I want to start by speaking to our fully online graduates, some of whom have never even been to our campus before this weekend. Most of you came back to college after decades of being away, or you started for the very first time at 40 instead of 18, or you came back and got that graduate degree you have always dreamed of. And you did it while juggling full-time jobs and kids and life. Now, one of the things that always made me happy during the pandemic was how many people were learning that online education is in fact serious business. Particularly when you're doing it while children are climbing on your head and you find yourself hiding in the bathroom for a little privacy. The sheer gumption of what you've achieved blows me away. And do you know who else was an untraditional student who started kind of in middle age to go back to college? St. Ignatius of Loyola. So for all of you who understood it's never too late to pursue your dreams, congratulations. You teach us the very Jesuit lesson to love learning every day for the rest of our lives. For the rest of you, those who came to university in the more traditional way, you now have permanent and visceral memories of Loyola as a physical place. The red brick Gothic buildings, the sound of the Holy Name bells, the smell of an afternoon thunderstorm. Can you remember how you felt when you first arrived all those years ago, of lining up after convocation for the photo in the horseshoe? Walking around that student activity expo and wondering if there were twice as many student organizations as there were actual students, and trying to decide whether to join Christian Fellowship or the Quidditch Club or both. Many of you lived in the luxury accommodations of Beaver or Buttock, and you learned very important skills of how to best decorate cinder block. You reveled in warm New Orleans winters, interrupted by Loyola's own version of snow, skidding around in the chopped ice with all those little kids coming after you. You dodged so many hurricanes. So many. And in true Loyola fashion, always then raised money for those hit hardest by them. You looked around at the striking diversity of your class, which we get to see so gloriously today, and you found your people. But most of you also reached out to find people different than you, to have conversations late into the night about what it was like to grow up on a farm or in a gated suburb or in a crowded neighborhood of Queens. You listened with open hearts about the lived experience of a race different than your own. You learned the wisdom of faith different than your own. Some of you suddenly understood that you grew up actually with a lot more than most people had. Others of you came and began to understand that you grew up with less than many of your colleagues had. And you all had to process your feelings about that. You learned from each other's different joys and pains, but ultimately, how much you had in common when you least expected it. It turns out that opportunities like this in life are rare. From now on, you'll have to make more of an effort to carve out a life that isn't full of people who live in exactly the same neighborhood or work in exactly the same profession. But I hope you'll remember that life is so much richer outside of those bubbles. Loyola brought you, or kept you, in New Orleans, a city that wants one thing: for you to be yourself. your truest and most authentic self. This is not the kind of place where you just buy a costume off the rack. You have to design it and make it on your own. And actually, you need a lot of them because we costume on many different occasions here during the year. New Orleans pushes you to think outside of the box, but not just that, but to tear the box apart and put it back together with duct tape and make a costume and then find other people who are into box costumes and make a crew of cardboard. And when you came to Loyola, New Orleans, you chose a university that wanted you to be you, but also the very best version of you. To recognize all of the incredible gifts that God has showered on you, and to know that these gifts aren't for you. They don't make you better than anyone else. They're a responsibility. To use your brilliant logic to solve problems, your creativity to inspire empathy in others, your leadership skills to help others want to do better. You have to find your own voice, but also to practice for hundreds of hours to make that voice fill a room and be distinctive. And for most university presidents, that would be a metaphor, but many of you literally did that. And so for years now, you have been studying so hard, spending hours in the library and the lab and the practice rooms. You've led student organizations and published the very best college newspaper in the country. You perform hundreds of concerts and recitals and plays a year. Our graduate students have dug even deeper into their chosen field. And then, life threw this epic curveball at all of us. People all over the planet have gone through this pandemic together. It's been such a uniquely collective experience, but it's also one that impacted each of us quite differently. So we all experienced disruption and anxiety and massive inconvenience, but some of you and your families went through the loss of jobs and businesses. Some of you sitting here today lost loved ones. Too many of you. So what did we learn when we went through this year of hardship together? What has this last year of Loyola been for you? I've been thinking a lot about that. It was a crisis full of tiny decisions. To stay away from friends even when you were desperate for their company. To be careful hour after hour, day after day in exhausting ways. At Loyola, we've never had so precise a metric of how much you, our students, care about us and care about each other than that COVID infection rate. And it turned out that you really, really care. So here's the thing I think we learned together. I used to think that big moral decisions would come labeled as big moral decisions with a big signpost that said, heroes turn this way and cowards turn the other way. But they don't. Moral decisions are hidden in the smallness of everyday choices, constant little forks in the road. At work, you'll have to decide whether to speak out even though you're not quite sure it's the right thing and there are other people who could speak out instead of you. At home, when you and your spouse are both exhausted, you'll have to decide who's going to do the dishes. And while that won't seem like it matters every night, it will collectively decide an awful lot about your spouse's career opportunities. You'll have to decide whether to correct a friend who says something kind of unkind, or whether to bother to attend the march when you're otherwise busy. And those decisions won't feel like the moments where history is made. But the funny thing is, even those grand historic moments, World War II or the movement, were created by people just like you, making small decisions, one at a time, that added up to big ones. The pandemic reminded us that those tiny decisions we make affect other people. And boy, did it kick us in the shins and remind us of that in life and death ways. The crisis gave us all of these opportunities to step up to the plate, opportunities that were always there, but they suddenly seemed more urgent and dramatic. And so many of you did that. You cheered up your friends when they were in quarantine. You checked on the old lady living next door to your apartment. You donated to the food bank because you really remembered that people really were hungry. Can you remember for a moment how good that felt? I don't know about you, but when I did these small COVID gestures, like buying groceries for my mama, I just drowned in pride about it. It felt so good. And then in very Catholic fashion, I felt guilty about that pride. But here's what I began to realize, that at this moment during quarantine, when those moments of generosity were one of the few joys that we had, that God wired us to take pleasure in generosity. It's better than any sugar high. And that's one of my favorite insights of the Jesuits as they do their nightly examine. They don't ask themselves, was I virtuous today? They ask, what felt good? Because it turns out that doing good actually feels good, that moral answers are also the key to being happy. So during the pandemic, others of you also had the opposite experience of having to accept generosity, often for the very first time in your life, as family finances crumbled or relatives got sick. And boy, is that humbling. But, and I'm going to paraphrase the Gospels here, that humility, it is your superpower. Not swagger and arrogance, those are kryptonite. Humility is your strength. It's the reason you will always have empathy, the reason you'll see people struggling and you won't blame them for their struggles. Like X-ray vision, you'll see through the trappings of status and forever actually recognize the humanity of other people. So if that's a gift you got this year, revel in it. We are all of us forever changed by this experience, and I worry that the busyness of normal life as it begins to return, how do we remember the values that we hold dear? How do we not, as a student asked me, step over them like we do walking to the library on our campus without thinking about them? Do you remember that first month of quarantine, how quiet it was when the traffic stopped and there were no airplanes flying overhead? And we all just shut up for a little while and suddenly had the chance to listen to that still small voice of God, of our own values, of the needs of other people. And we look back at our old lives of how frantic and busy they were, and we realize that so much of it wasn't real. You know, like that annoying feature on the iPhone that tells you how often you stare at it, how many hours a week. It got in the way of knowing ourselves and each other. This year, we focused our energy on fewer relationships and narrowed them to our pods. Or we were alone and really had to remember why human connection is so important. The suffering we went through pulled away at our illusions. It made us pay attention, and we need to not lose that. A year ago, we also faced our worst fears. And as the crisis begins to relent, thank God, it's hard to remember how afraid we really were. I want you to know that of all the purposes of Jesuit education, the most important may just be courage. Courage to make use of your gifts even when you're worried you'll fail. Courage to do the right thing even when it costs you. I'm not asking you to be fearless. Fear is quite healthy. Fear is what keeps you from doing things like bungee jumping. The trick is to look at your fears and divide them into the ones that are healthy and those that are just getting in the way of the life you want to live. So the next time you're terrified to stand up and give a speech and your knees are knocking and you imagine that you might stumble and everyone might laugh at you, remember this moment. Remember that you, my friends, have something to say to this world, and the world will be better off if you say it. Graduates, there are too many things I want to say to you and not enough time, and I imagine your loved ones feel exactly the same way right now. So much advice that they wish they could just give you through osmosis at this important moment without you rolling your eyes at them. So many mistakes that we've all made that we wish we could spare you. It took me 3 years out of college to realize that air conditioning units have filters that need changed. I want you to know that. When you're writing emails for work, use punctuation, but not too many exclamation points. Almost never use exclamation points. But I'll give you just one last piece of advice. I want you to take a minute right now and think of everyone in your life who ever made you feel like you did not belong in college or graduate school, or that you couldn't finish. Anyone who mocked you for your race or your weight, because you were Southern or an immigrant, or because of who you loved, or just because it made them feel bigger to make you feel small. And graduates, are you ready? I want you to cheer right now loud enough for those people to hear you. Come on. Now I want you to forever deny them that power over you. How? I want you to forgive them. Or if you can't quite manage forgiveness, I want you to push those voices out of your head. I want you to lead with love. I want you to know that you have already proved to the world that you are brilliant, kind, creative, and important. My friends, you are now officially Jesuit educated, full of learning, armed with courage, ready to make a difference wherever you go. So go out and set the world on fire.
And now, a vocal performance by Lillian Davis, who graduates this weekend cum laude with a bachelor's degree in popular and commercial music. She is accompanied by Loyola piano instructor Daniel Meineke.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know what I mean. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is an old world and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know what I feel. Send down the pine, you know what I mean. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know what I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me.
And now, for the reason we are all here, the presentation of the 2021 candidates for graduation. The deans from each college will assist with the presentations. Please welcome Dr. Maria Calzada, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
President Tedlow, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for graduation who are certified for bachelor's and master's degrees.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Samuel Stephen LeBaron, cum laude, honors in history. Adam Michael LeBlanc, cum laude. Elizabeth Megan Lee, cum laude. Angele Elaine Lemoyne. Sophia Francisca Lyons. Chloe Lisi. Molly Elizabeth Mader, magna cum laude, University Honors, Honors in History. Holly Marie Mahoney. Jonathan David Marshall, magna cum laude, University Honors, Honors in English. Elizabeth Marvin, summa cum laude. Matthew A. Matura. Imna Isabel Medina. Delaney Mulqueeny Mercer. Estacia LaShawn Mills. Caitlin Laurette Morrison, summa cum laude, University Honors. Maya Grace Moses, magna cum laude. Sophia Alexandra Murillo. Miranda Marie Musakia, magna cum laude. Peter Joseph Nelson Broderick, cum laude. Taylor Wynn. Regina Marie Nicosia, summa cum laude, honors in philosophy. Nanami Okawachi, cum laude. Wendy Seetson Oster. Shelby Pujawa, magna cum laude. Kiana Claudia Polis, cum laude. Blake Michael Powers. Grace Prince Quisenberry, magna cum laude. For the degree of Bachelor of Criminology and Justice, Stormy Sky Prieskop. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Zion Barbosa Montero. Sydney Page Gordon, magna cum laude. Francesca Amanda Lawson, summa cum laude. Alexis Lux. Noor Malui. Yasmin Mograbed, summa cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Biological Sciences. Andrea Malaret Martinez. Aideen Munafar, magna cum laude. Destiny Murea Martin. Molak Abdullah Mathkour, cum laude. Catherine McCullough. Zipporah Tiana McNeil. Ashley Ann Messina, summa cum laude. Claire Margaret Mibro, magna cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Biological Sciences. Olivia Mibro, summa cum laude, Honors in Biological Sciences. Nyla Elizabeth Moore. Jory Liness Mosby. Islam Nassar. Ni E. Win, magna cum laude. V. Vudan Nguyen, summa cum laude, Honors in Biological Sciences. Odelia Ogechi Jamku Obyoha, summa cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Biological Sciences. Ashlyn Poulette. Catherine Perez. Oscar Enrique Perez. Zoe Elizabeth Perry, summa cum laude, University Honors. Anne-Marie Ngoc Han Pham, Honors in Biological Sciences. Chantrell Margaret Pittman. With a Master of Arts in Teaching, Kelly Elizabeth Lacrosse. For the degree of Master of Criminology and Justice, Luke Galvin Quinn. Chandrea Rochelle Lafleur. Melissa Mitchell Pilot. Ursula Renata Lawrence Porch.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the candidates for graduation in the College of Arts and Sciences. These scholars have studied with distinction, and they merit your applause.
Please welcome Kern Moss, Dean of the College of Music and Media.
President Tetlow, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for graduation who are certified for bachelor's and master's degrees.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Anderson Leal, summa cum laude. Brialana Simone Lassire. Olivia Lede, magna cum laude. Joshua Mark Lennox. Breland Alan Michael Leon. Cecilia B. Jewel Yambo. Bernadette Lucrece Locke. Tasia Marshall, magna cum laude. Valerie Lynn Meyer. Shadera Janae Moore. Jade Zoe Myers. Carissa Yelena Newbill Adams, magna cum laude. Jillian Odo. Braylee Penny. Samantha Ann Peterson, summa cum laude. Katie Huang Pham, cum laude, University Honors. Sebastian Phillips. Max Piper. Vincent Angelo Alfieri Postal. Cassidy Pullen, magna cum laude. Annie Palmina Odo. Brooke Desdemona Larkins, cum laude. Laura Manuela Giraldo Lopez. Olivia Malloy.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the candidates for graduation in the College of Music and Media. These scholars have studied with distinction, and they merit your applause.
Please welcome Dr. Michael Capella, Dean of the College of Business.
President Tetlow, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for graduation who are certified for associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees.
Ashley Nicole Moore. Sydney Kate Overom. Coco Pellissier. Troy Dion Pierre II. Joseph Laborde. Devontae Payne. Jacob Ross Peffer, magna cum laude. Louis Papia. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Therapy, Hannah Rachel Littlefield, University Honors. Carissa Dawn Mooney, summa cum laude. Carissa is also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences. Olaya Catherine O'Malley Gorbia, magna cum laude. Gabriela Amalia Ocon, cum laude. Ryan Pennington. Jocelyn Kayla Purcell, magna cum laude. Daniel Joseph Lavoie. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Luther John Lizama. Beresford Fitzgerald Emmanuel Lynch II. Taylor John Mapes. Michelle Mongillo. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Music, Lei Ming Kelani Mueller, summa cum laude. Nye Moody. Ryanon Morrison, cum laude, University Honors. Surya Isis Ndongo Ndedi. Fabiola Mercedes Ortiz Jaunerena. Sydney Anhuea Parrish, magna cum laude, University Honors. Emily Lynn Pauley, magna cum laude, University Honors. Abby Peach. Nicholas Austin Pedrauza. Jack Harry. Juan Sebastian Piedra. Michelle Catherine Gilliot Lane. Hugo R. Pinto Sr. Claire Monique Putnam. Anne Elizabeth Pateman. For the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Seth Lawrence Landry. Jack Parnell Laughlin. Alejandro Francis Lopez. Nicole Berenice Maradiaga. Fernando Javier Marchand Fernandez. Paula E. Martinez Brastamo, magna cum laude. Victoria Esperanza Mayfield, cum laude. Gustavo Brando Mina Pacheco. George Messina III. Kevin Antonio Molina. Alani Grisel Morales. Larson Thomas Moy. Gualesca Munoz Medina. Cole Nicholas Nalesnik, magna cum laude. Sarah Naaman, summa cum laude. Emma Nesbitt. Carolyn Tuet-Wong Nguyen, cum laude. Carter Mikkel Nicholson. Jade Marie Parker. Ryan Hudson Parker. Claudia Victoria Par Aponte, cum laude. Akash Patel, cum laude. Victoria Peri, magna cum laude. Jean-Paul Oliver Louis Phillips. Sarah Alexis Marie Pleasant. Robert Prosso. For the degree of Masters in Business Administration, Philip Francis Lapere. Van Lee. Tyra Brown McGarry. Shanita Moses. Kirsty Noel O'Callahan. Afamefuna Ikena Pride Okeke. Sebastian Pereira Pinzon. Jewel Allison Lee. Jamie Lynn Mobley.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the candidates for graduation in the College of Business. These scholars have studied with distinction and they merit your applause.
President Tanya Tetlow will now confer degrees on Loyola's class of 2021.
Okay, hold the applause till the end. Will the candidates for all degrees please stand? We, the faculty and president of Loyola University New Orleans, do hereby confer these degrees as presented today. By the public authority of the state of Louisiana, we will issue diplomas signed by our hand and confirmed by the seal of Loyola University New Orleans. In the year of our Lord 2021, the 245th since the establishment of the Republic, and the 109th since the chartering of the university. Congratulations, graduates. We're going to end with a prayer. Graduates, you can be seated. Good and gracious God, we ask you to bless these graduates and to fill their hearts and minds with your Spirit. We pray they will go forth to use their knowledge and skill, their wisdom and kindness to do your work. Bless the families gathered today who have raised these students, held them in their arms as babies through countless sleepless nights, loved them fiercely as they grew, and learned to let them go. Bless the faculty who have mentored and taught them and who have instilled in them a lifelong curiosity born of the delight of knowing that you, Lord, are present in all things. Bless the staff who have supported, advised, fed, and cared for these students, who've cheered them on and made their journey possible. Together we pray, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. We ask this in your name. Amen. And now let's celebrate.
That concludes Loyola University's commencement ceremony for 2021. Congratulations, graduates. Please remember